Bonsoir. We are live. Thursday Night Lights will next be back in Pro de Deux in January, so enjoy this one. Tonight we've got an absolute cracker in store. Thursday Night Lights in French, what's that? Lumière de jeudi soir. I'll see if that makes sense. I'll get my French checked by Joe Worsley in a minute, but you're here for
l'écoulage.
Live
L'écoulage de jeudi soir.
L'écoulage de jeudi soir. Thank you, Joe Worsley. Yeah, big games ahead, but a big game tonight. Yeah, there you go. That's our game tonight. Vannes are the visitors to Béziers, and these teams are at opposite ends of the table. And this is the final round as we pass the halfway point in Pro de Deux. This is round 15, 30 games in the regular season. So we are hitting the halfway mark and some big games. But this is a significant one for all teams because they've got 2 weeks off now to, well, hopefully have a happy Christmas, but possibly have a little bit of a worrisome one for certain teams. And Bezier are one of those sides that could get really dragged down. They've been docked a couple of points due to financial issues. We'll get into that certainly. But they are not far off of the bottom of the table, whereas Vannes are away on their own at the top and can increase what is already a 7-point cushion. They are looking ominously good. Joe, how you doing, mate?
I am good. I had a day in Barcelona today. I had to pick up some people from the airport. Came back, and now raring to go for this game. It is an interesting game. Béziers are a place, it's not too far from Perpignan. They're a club really in the merde at the moment. And you're right, Vannes are running away with it. Best attack by 30 points in the league. Second best defence behind Colomiers. It's just a recipe that's given them that 7-foot cushion already. And I think tonight they could extend that to even more.
We've already seen the cameraman focusing on Samuel Marquez and Michael Ruru. That number 9 face-off is two of the best 9s in this league, and you know, in a country where the number 9 jersey is revered.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Marquez is a man who makes that Bezier team tick. Now, he was part of a team that played to his style for a long time. They maybe tried to change it up a bit this year. It all imploded a few weeks back, got rid of coaches, players revolt. Anyway, now they've calmed everything down a bit, and Bezier seem to have refound their soul, they said a couple of weeks ago. But in terms of rugby, they still haven't found that rugby projet de jeu, that game plan that's working for them. Whilst they are engaged and committed, the rugby side of things is not firing all cylinders. Now, they come up against a team in Vannes who are super committed in every game. That's their USP. But again, their rugby project is pretty good. I mean, game plan is pretty efficient. Set piece, very good. Maul, very good. Defence, good. Kicking game, really good. Attack, a little bit clunky, needs to get better. But that maul, set piece, great kicking game has led them to be the best attack in the league already. They do get that attack side of things right. They're really going to run away with this.
Yeah, Ruru and their Marquez marshalling his troops. Like full disclosure, okay, this is live rugby we get, and you're getting all through the season. If you appreciate that, just drop a little thumbs up on the video. It really helps to spread the algorithm as Marquez goes through his warm-up. 37-year-old Portuguese scrum half and Michael Ruru, New Zealander there. That really is the two key men for each of these teams this evening, both having fantastic seasons. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. What I will also say is, full disclosure, I am in South Africa, so just want you to know, Joe Worsley, as much as anything, you may well have to take the reins. If there's some load shedding or something in Durban, then mate, you're in the hot seat.
I will take over, and then you can jump back in. It's like a reversal of my first ever live commentary from a train escapade that we had a few weeks ago. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Ruru today. He does make that van attack click a lot better when he's in it, because he's a great attacking player.
Two Portuguese halfbacks, 9 and...
Maybe we have started there with we're talking about it. Maybe Tim's joking going out that early, but he's right. 2 Portuguese halfbacks and a 9 and 10.
we got Belgium on the bench. Belgian on the bench. William van Bos. We got, I think there's a Belgian on either team. There's Germans in the side as well. But yeah, you've already mentioned James O'Reilly. We do not have Dave Cherry for this match. James O'Reilly's been signed from the Highlanders and played Super Rugby and played a load of games in Super Rugby. He comes in at hooker. That's a statement.
Yeah, he's a light, kind of 105, relatively light. Very mobile. It'd be interesting to see if he can hit his darts. The scrummage at 105, we'll see. Kiwi in this league, scrummage is a huge thing. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him play. So that's really giving them depth in hooker position.
There's a moment's applause for something. Joe, you didn't catch what that was for?
I think we could find out. And some of the people watching, please tell us, if you're from Bezier, what is happening? Why are they clapping?
We've seen that stand more full than that on occasion. There are a lot of people on the side that the cameras are as well in Bezier, but is that a reflection of where they are in the season? That they've won one game in 8 games and they've got 18
when that stadium's full, it's bouncing. Towards the end of last season, they were playing better. They were touching the playoff area. They were getting big crowds. The team's been playing pretty poorly, a lot of disillusionment around it. So yeah, I remember this is a club that's won so many championships. It's almost worth doing a feature on this club. Historically, this club was a monster for like 10, 15 years. Some incredible players coming through, and like in the 70s especially, it's just a club that just dominated rugby in France. Having that hanging over them, I think, is probably part of it. It's not that long ago they were this dominant club, and as soon as professionalism hit, they've been gradually kind of dwindling a little bit. They're hoping this reset with Bobby Skinstead taking over will take them to new heights, but that's still taking its time to bed in.
I'm just enjoying this song as well, Joe.
It is cool.
We go to the dressing room. What does that say? Did you catch what that said on the sign, Joe, in the background?
I didn't.
If they cut back to it, have a look.
We'll have a look. Here we go. These moments are key, huh? I love these moments. I love this point. All the crap out of the way, you can actually get on with the game after a long day of waiting, especially on these evening kickoffs. Now they're ready. Now you get on the pitch and get on with it. Great moments. Used to love it at this point. Here we go, the captain's at the front. Our Portuguese halfback captain. A massive Englishman there. Is English?
Which were Christian Juge.
The Juge is, yeah, the Juge. But Doddy, I said Doddy.
Oh, Cam Dodson, yes, he is English.
Yeah. Cam Dodson sounds like a very Scottish name, but it's actually English, isn't it? That's why I was doubting myself there. And his nationality on anything in rugby in France is British, which is a bit odd.
Well, we got 2 English tight head props. Is one interesting little storyline here from a kind of Anglo perspective. Christian Judge, or as I've already mentioned, the stadium announcer just before the game we were watching, and Christian Judge against Nick Shonner, which is interesting. Although that's England's Nick Shonner, but he's also South African and has just declared to play for Germany in the Rugby Europe Championship.
Hang on, how's that possible? Has he got a German?
He must have.
Parent or grandparent?
Yeah, must have. Samuel Marquez gets us underway.
Dans les 22. Non, 9.
That is an edgy first kickoff take from Van. Wawa Debetis, the number 1, a very powerful ball carrier, fell on it. Good exit. Look at that Van chase. Look how high they got into the opposition 50 metre already. And look at them, they're dominating this kick battle already. If they carry on like this, you're going to see an opportunity for Van in the opposition half. Okay, not quite in the opposition half, but now a line out for Van. 45. Just a good play from that Van team. That's what makes them so efficient. Kick-off reception, good quality kick. Committed chase.
Joe Worsley.
Another quality kick behind, and off you go.
Joe Worsley, well done, mate. Are you hearing me okay?
I can certainly hear you loud and clear now, but obviously we have to allow for your Durban.
Well, yeah, just your pictures are not that great from South Africa at the moment. I'm thoroughly enjoying your commentary though, Joe. Carry on.
But the have a go at commentating blind, not just commentary. Be quite good, Tim. Another world first for flat rugby. There was an overthrow from our Kiwi friend, who's just signed. It looked like there was a missed call. He misunderstood the call. Marquez got the call from his winger. Great kick over the top. Bounces for them, mate. Bezier are on a roll here. 5 meters out from the opposition line, right in front of the post. 2 sides to attack. Surely there's space out. Marquez flings it. There's unfortunately a prop wide, who's so slow. He got mopped up by the Van team. Now 10 meters from the Van line. Let's see if Bezier can make it more dynamic. But again, Van got pressure on the ruck. Ruru made a messy pass. And then that Van team have just smashed the player who caught it after Ruru threw a last-minute pass.
So we get our first scrum, Joe. We get our first scrum from this moment. No, Samuel Marquez there.
Yeah, but honestly, to have any chance of winning this game, Bezier are going to have to take those moments there. Look at how long Marquez waited over the ball for his team to set, and then the ruck. One of the players in attention got counter-rucked, hit into Marquez, poor pass, and then that Van team just showing what they can do. Coming up fast, battering them back. Great kick from Marquez, though. That's what he's so good at, those kind of moments.
Here we go then, the first melee. Shona against Juge.
That is solid.
Both scrum coaches will be happy with that one. Van go to the edge. Shots in early. Ruru recycles. Boulier with the carry. That sets up a position for Ruru. Marquez hassling, harrying. Speaking to the referee.
So the referee was talking to him before saying, make sure you're onside. And then Marquez, who's trying to put massive pressure on the left foot of the Van Knight. I think he left too early. Referee was right there, right in front of them. I'm sure he was capable of making a good call.
You don't normally see a scrum half being the one to try and block another scrum half's kick.
No, normally it's the lankiest man in the team, normally a second row. Having a small nine's not always, but they're sometimes rapid and they can actually predict when the nine's. Obviously Marquez jumped the gun there. He got ahead of himself. He's quite a combustible character. He's done some things in the past which we probably shouldn't talk about now, but we'll save them for another time. But he can lose his head. Let's hope that doesn't happen today because he's a fine player.
Bezier get up and compete. Not straight, force a scrum.
Yeah, another melee. I think here, look how they throw the jumper across the line a bit. Makes that throw look even wonkier. If he'd gone straight up, maybe they would have got away with that one. But again, it's those kind of optics the referee can see, and it looks sus when that jumper gets chucked across into the middle of the line out, and then he's all up reach to one side, to his side for the ball, makes it look even more crooked.
Well, the set pieces are a competition in France. We just saw it at line-out time, and you'll see Marquez will put the ball in straight, or else he'll face being penalised again. The hooker hooks the ball in pro de deux. Pouter carries from the base. Powerful first shot. Switching sides. It gets to the edge. Aubrey. Boudahon held him up. The counter rocks on. Disrupts the ball, but it comes back from Marquez. He links with Aubrey again. Finds the forward pod in midfield. Bezier can't get into Van's territory with ball in hand. They go there with the kick. Spilled by Bemagal. forced back into his own 22. 4 men from Bezier in that ruck.
Sorry, he wants to kick this one straight off. Why are they lining up for another ruck? If that stays on, that could be on. Ooh,
Ruru.
what a shame. That's a great option under the pressure. So you had a winger in there, some more speed guys in that ruck. Now you can take another ruck, another risky ruck. Bezier team are going to pile into it. You lose a few more meters. But nines, sometimes, especially when they back themselves, they're definitely going to get this out. They can kick it. If it stays on, you are in the merde. But he's backed himself. He's got a great kick away. Now Van are going to be defending a line out not far from the 50-meter line.
The donut. And that's not me making any judgment on Nick Shonett. That's because we learned he has a donut shop. In fact, he has a bunch of donut shops.
Really? In which country?
In England.
In England?
I haven't imagined this, have I? This wasn't a fever dream. This happened the last time we had Van on as a live game. We have Murray McCallum, the Newcastle prop. He was watching on the stream and filling us in on Nick Shonett's donut empire that he's built. It's called Guilt Trip Coffee, and it's meant to be amazing. And I've had that firsthand from a trusted source that it is outstanding. Anyway, more on Nick Shonett's donuts in a bit. Marquez is trying to nudge the ball through again. Finds Ben McGowl on the run though, and Van just outside Bezier's 22. They've been in their own half most of the game. Ruru didn't manage to get it away, and now we can counter through Bezier. Counter-attack opportunity. The backfield is empty. 22 to 22 and back. Was that a knock-on? Ben Stevenson knock-on and then holding the ball. I mean, 5 meters from his own line. Marquez is looking to go quickly. It's all happening, Joe.
Yeah, I like Ben McGowl. He's a lovely player. Slipped a lovely pass back in. However, how did Ruru get caught up there? Was it his own player he tripped up on and then just fumbled the ball? Bezier, quick break, good kick through, great chase. Stevenson mistimed his dive onto the ball, and voila! We have about 5 meters out for Bezier now. Again, this is the second opportunity at the 22. They'll be hoping to make it. Yeah, that hit a hand. I think one of his own players.
Hand or head? I don't know. It hit.
Yeah, it was strange. You see that in slow-mo?
Bezier. Yanis Boulasel at the back with the ball. Following Christian Judge through, he splinters off. Penalty advantage and a try. Boulasel. Silences. I don't know what that exactly meant, but there was a message for someone there. A try for Bezier.
Hey, look how tight this is at the start. It comes down, those players are so tight around him as he come in. Those two lifters, as he's coming down, they just get a beautiful set. The Van team actually quite slow into them. But then the block behind came in, the other forwards, 3 forwards came in behind, made a tight unit behind which could build on the tight unit in front. And as they spun around that maul, that tight unit they created broke off. And then the hooker broke off, getting the try. Again, Jeremy Davidson there not looking very happy. That maul, at half-time, he'll be asking a few players what they do wrong.
Samuel Marquez with the Johnny Wilkinson setup, but not the Johnny Wilkinson finish. 5-0.
Nor the Johnny Hare.
He has got lovely hair. The Stade Raoul Barrière, they might not be at capacity, but the Bezier fans that are in there, pretty happy about the start. They've dominated territory and got the try. Van's response. Bezier are 4 from 7 at home this season, and Van are 4 from 7 away from home. So this game could be well balanced despite the difference in league position, as another error could have gone Bezier's way. It's come back Van's way. Are they going to score immediately? Oh my word. What a
little
what a mess! And what an
That was a
opportunistic try.
messy try.
Steve
He
Black
doesn't look too
Mapes.
happy.
Steve Black Mapes, who has confirmed he's going to finish the season at Van. He started as a bit of an injury replacement from Lyon.
Yeah, it's, Van have been a little bit messy. Listen, this is not normally the Ruru error leading to the try we just saw. That error there could have easily led to a hack through in another situation like we just had after the Ruru error. However, Van don't normally make these mistakes. They don't give opposition these opportunities. But this time, as the player fell on the ball, all the Bezier players kind of ran past him. He got up in a fluid motion and boom, he was off and created a try. A little bit luck for Van.
Yeah, went through Steve Black Mapes' legs, ended up with Ben Stevenson, who gassed it through. The crowd giving Maxime Lafarge a little bit of encouragement.
See that wind?
Yeah, the wind is
Bezier
going to be
have
harder, yeah.
Yeah, it looks strong. You see those flags on top of those posts. But, I mean, this part of the world, you have the Tramontane and you've got these winds that come in strong. It looks like it's belting down the middle of that one right now. Obviously, the stadium's got very high stands on the sides, but either end's not quite as high. And you can see the wind licking at those posts. The other end looks calm when it opens up.
Hung high from Marquez. Bezier regather the ball. This is end to end already, and not all through positive players. A few errors going on. Christian Judge with the carry.
Yeah. And this will suit Bezier if it stays messy.
He has got a really big pass on him, hasn't he? All the way to the middle of the pitch with that one, skipping out 3 Bezier attackers. Goes to the first man this time, and Aubrey spills the ball, regathers.
Rouge au sol. 21 rouge au sol, ramène le ballon dans son camp. Première faute en avant rouge. 21 rouge au
Straps
sol.
when it comes to the rugby game plan. And that was a real example of a team who are not symbiotic, who are not kind of working together. The attack was so clunky. See, Marquez put the pass out. But some forwards just standing around. And the team was trying to get to a player past them. But for some reason, their attacking shape was way off. And they managed to block the pass from their own 10, who then had to fall on the ball and got turned over. Van, yet again, getting an easy entry up near the opposition 22.
James O'Reilly. That's 2 line-out throws for the new man.
I think it's 3. There was one at the start as well. He overthrew. That's 3 darts he's got wrong. Again, the jumper jumped across a bit there, but that one looked pretty agricultural when it comes to, it didn't look straight at all. Maybe this is his weakness.
I mean, it's his debut. So, and as you've said, that chemistry that builds up between locks and hookers and lifters and jumpers and timing and stuff, there's a lot of moving parts. I would have thought they might just have chucked someone up at the front.
Yeah, give him an easy call, help him out. Maybe now the second row's got his head up his arse, so could maybe mention it to him.
Flexion.
Like you can give him an easier call next time.
Lié. Jeu. Jouez-le.
Oh, it's good to watch. Just scrums like that.
Proper scrummage.
Proper scrummage in that. Yeah, Pauter breaking off the base. Marquez under pressure. Manages to get the ball to Eru. Aubrey's in the pocket. Marquez himself kicks. Stevenson does well. Ruru. Straight into touch.
Went for the $1 million touch there. Maybe she just tried to break him field. Stevenson did really well to keep that on. Great kick from Marquez. The guy's so talented, skillful, and his ability to kick is phenomenal. His problem's always been overplaying and playing the wrong moments. But look at that skill from Stevenson. Really, really class. Shame Ruru couldn't make the most of it and keep the ball in play, because behind that, in a moment like that, they got fast ball. Van could have been on the attack. Instead, Bezier, opportunity for them to enter into the opposition half again. What we're going to see here.
Try scorer Boulasel. I think what it's going to be. Marquez is there, straight up at the front. Marquez. Yeah, there you go. simple works sometimes. Pauter, always an outlet for the ball carry. And that wide pass again, and there's men on the edge. Judge thought better of trying to get it to them on this occasion. And there are, you can see moments where a lift or an extra tip, and there could be space. And Van, one of the most organised, disciplined defences in the league. Encouraging moments for Bezier. They're getting the best of the territory, and that one again is going to give them more of it in Van's half. Is this Bezier doing a really good job of putting pressure on, or is this an uncharacteristic Van?
No, that one. Okay, so Bezier had a set play which went wide, kind of wide, and they came back wide. Yeah, there was an offload opportunity, but again, it's all pretty high risk plays they're making, the tips and the length of the pass, giving the opposition our ability to come up fast. So Bezier have for years played that kind of Toulouse style, and they're trying to do it. They went away from it. Maybe they're trying to get back to it, which is why they're caught between a rock and a hard place at the moment. But that kick that Marquez put through was not good. It's just the Van team put in a kick that was kind of a 50-22 attempt that didn't work.
Taylor, Gontiniak back on the field. Bezier in the midfield, and again they went short on the line-out just to make sure they won the ball cleanly. That's presented this opportunity. Aubry doesn't like the look of that. Marquez has got a good variety on his kicks. Again, the ball has not gone to hand. Abascat creates another opportunity. The flanker nudging through. Pierre Courteau under pressure. That ball is out. Mazloui straight onto it. That's into touch.
Again, a messy period. Not getting any go forward. Bezier. Van's defence is dealing with everything. They're throwing it relatively easily. The errors are coming in transition moments after turnovers, or moments like that where there's a kick that's mishandled slightly. Did Stevenson let that go when he didn't need to? And a fantastic kick from a back row player. Not many back row can do that. Good chase. Now Bezier got an opportunity. Listen, it's a really committed Bezier team. I can see their spirit there. Let's see if they can get over the line again, because like I say, Van, when they start clicking, at some point they'll click. They'll start scoring points. Bezier need to get a few on the board.
James O'Reilly getting a spare, another, maybe it was looking his throw.
Maybe not with only Sam. Okay. I don't need another Sam, please.
I suppose the big question from Van's perspective is, do they compete here, or do they just stay on the deck, get heads in? What would you do, Joe?
A lot of it depends on who you have playing. Now, looking at the Van team, some of the aerial, they got Luke Bappe. He's a very intelligent line-out forward. Not so fast in the air anymore, but they haven't really got any out-and-out aerial guys. But I think they'll put up at least one block here.
They are competing. That presents the opportunity. Pauter round the back. So it's not Pauter. Pauter's waiting with the head guard there. Held up.
What a shame, that peel off. If he got his body low there, that would have been a great ball behind. Let's have a look at this again. Yeah, she gets caught high. It's a lovely run, Eru.
Does really well.
Yeah, Eru on Ruru. Keeps him up, and yeah, he's a strong 9, isn't he? Strong lad. But anyway, Bezier should have another counter-attack opportunity. Should take him up to at least 30 metres out from the opposition 9 now.
Got a suggestion for held up over the line, Joe. You'll have to remind me if I don't bring it up as Pauter that time. It definitely was. Pauter with the big carry. Gontiniak, who's back on, spills the ball. Aubry to fullback Anon.
I actually, when I saw Anon at fullback, I looked up anonymous. I wasn't sure. I thought they weren't sure who was going to play. Genuine. Great name.
So goal line dropout. I was having this conversation and someone suggested, because I don't like this. I don't like a dropout from held up anyway. That's fine. But instead of a goal line dropout from held up, a 5-metre scrum to the defending team. So it stays down there, but the defence gets rewarded. Oh,
Interesting.
Pouter again.
Oh, that was ouch. No arms? Yeah. He said Six didn't use his arms on that tackle. I hope you heard that. It's a very technical description of the Six's tackle technique. Pouter got up and called him.
I think it was it was clearly a French
feline.
word. I think it was a French word.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't happy with his technique. Yeah, good call from the ref. The refs' mics are amazing, aren't they? Yeah. Still, I don't know. It's pretty brave just to do that, isn't it? Guy at full pelt.
Juan
110
Bautista
kicks, sprinting.
Pedemonte. He's an Argentinian international. Those Argentinian back rows,
Oh,
they know how to tackle.
And they love a no-arm tackle in the knees.
Spoken like a man who I've received a couple of the years. The maul gets going again. Already got one try from this. Boulasel, the try scorer, has his hands on the pill. Works his way to the back. Marquez ready to pounce. Is this going all the way again? The second drive is going over. Boulasel is going in for another try for Bezier. The power. Are we going to get the celebration?
This time. There it is. What does it mean? Slightly, as it broke off, I think the maul had no Van players touching at one point, but let's have a look again. Again, the set was really good. When you get a tight set, so lifter comes down, the two players either side of him just form a block that no one can penetrate. Behind that, you can build this kind of maul to go forward. They've done well on these two try-scoring moves.
Yeah, the work of Eru
Cam
and
Dodson.
then Cam Dodson and Sias Cohen, the South African, just really fought a lovely wedge. Off the upright from Marquez. There is, I think we've mentioned this before, there is like a Captain America quality to the Bezier stash.
It is, yeah, very USA, isn't it?
Solid drills at set piece time, and we haven't seen Van get overpowered this season in any sense, really.
Big Jeja will be unhappy with that, but again, I think you're seeing the wind there. It must be quite strong, especially as the ball gets above a certain height. You see that kickoff holding up. That's the second time that's happened with the Van kickoff. That block underneath, when it's windy like that, it's a little bit harder to read, and you see he's overshot both times. Hasn't quite got it right. Yeah, the Bezier team should be taking those. I know they're lucky to get a call there from the ref, from the Van team, giving him a nudge in the air.
High and tight haircut from Hugo Aubrey. Reckon he got that done this afternoon. This time they go to the tail, tap back.
C'est pas droit. Il y a un bloc saut, il y a un bloc saut.
Feels harsh calling a not straight when it goes towards the opposition.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost more impressive that they still won it.
Yeah, anyway, another scrum opportunity here. The scrummaging has been good. Sign of a good scrum, guys, is stay low, the height of it, uniform height from all 8 forwards, and then its ability to stay there and stay straight. And the first 2 scrums you've seen have been solid as a rock, and hopefully we'll see that again now. Good quality scrummaging, no one being an idiot trying to cheap shot or do stupid things, and you can have a good scrummaging contest.
Bang on cue, it goes down, but we're going to play the ball anyway. One straight off the training ground. Forced a little bit, and it gives Bezier another opportunity. I just feel like Van needs some phases at this point. Some patterns and some pressure built. That said, Bezier, for all their work, only 5 points they're ahead. Eru squeezing every last out of that cat. Pragmatic from Marquez. Accurate as well.
Not sure actually. Ooh. That looked like it bounced on or just over the line. Van have made a lot of mistakes. We talked about it earlier, weren't we? This is not the usual Van you see who are deadly when it comes to field position. This is a Van giving the opposition opportunities on the back of that. Couple more tries, another area Van normally are capable of preventing opposition from scoring. But that time Marquez, again, he's giving me up options for Van. At some point, surely Van will click and Bezier will pay, because they can't be giving these options up. There's a couple more opportunities. There should be more than one score clear.
This time they take our advice, Joe. Give Joe Riley a front ball option. He's the acts as scrum half to get the ball to Lafarge. Takola, the youngster, with a carry.
Yes. He was clean on that ball. The referee was screaming, cease, leave it, cease, leave it. Obviously, when it's in a foreign language, sometimes you don't catch up on it when you're in a ruck situation, but you need to be clear on this. The referee's very clear. There, see his hands on the floor? Then he slides back. All referees now are looking at that. As soon as your hands touch the floor, just leave the ball alone. Another Van error there. You can have a scrum back, maybe. That last scrum collapsed, but I think the feet of Scone slipped, and you saw that and the arm of the loose head in front was in a good position, so I think the referee let it play on, which is a good call.
Quick question from the chat, Joe, just saying, obviously we know the southwest corner of France is, you know, rugby mad. Van from the north, does that count against them in any sense with either authorities or referees? Or I don't know if that's got any part of it, but a thought in the chat that they're in that outpost.
You know, I've not come across that. I think it's probably so many referees as well come from those rugby heartlands. But there are referees from the north, but yeah, far fewer. You know, I never actually thought as to whether that would play against a team like Van or the Paris teams.
Yeah, they got the Parisian teams as well. It's one of the big successes of French domestic rugby is the growth in the areas that aren't traditionally big rugby areas.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see.
Pauter and Marquez combining. Get the ball to the edge, and Van's defence does not look well organised.
Such fast ball.
Real quick ball, that's the difference it makes. And it compounds itself because look at the numbers Bezier have. They couldn't quite get the ball accurately. There were opportunities to go to the right. Shonner
slow
looks
now,
like
will
he's
they
down.
get on top?
Yeah.
You literally saw as soon as the slow ball happened there, Marquez is going to go? Yeah, as soon as slow ball happened there, that Van team got their structure in place, and boom, they had Bezier in their pocket again. Bezier, as soon as the ball slows down, they're incapable of playing well enough. You saw that reason that ball was slow is Marquez threw a pass, another long 20-metre pass to a forward, which fell a bit slow just behind him. He had to stop, then accelerate again, got banged hard, and then that ball was slow behind it. So again, one bad pass, ball slowed down. They're not capable of restarting that fast ball. They're not capable of having the right depths, people in the right position running onto the ball, or the quality pass to get things going again. And they're going to have to resort more and more to that kicking side of the game if they play like this, or carry on playing, take high-risk options, like little chips over the top, tip-on passes when it's maybe not on, and then turnovers will happen. Oh dear.
Bit of a freak moment, a bit of a freak injury for Nick Shonner. Like a fairly regulation tackle. And if anything, I thought it was his shoulder that got in a funny position. That's clearly the lower half of his body on that one. So another injury to add to the many injuries that Van are dealing with at the moment. And the last two games, Nick Shonner has bagged a brace of tries. So he's got 5 tries to his name, I think, for the season. In 5 starts.
His guilty pleasure. Scoring tries for the clock. His rig isn't too bad for somebody who sells donuts.
Guilty pleasure donuts.
His rig's not too bad. You think Judge is the one selling and eating donuts, judging from his stomach, but it's not too bad.
Avantage, allez drive. Avantage, 7 blancs, allez drive.
Penalty advantage. Boulasel seeking a hat-trick already.
Première faute, early drive, et ensuite 5 blancs en jeu.
We've seen the injury list come up a moment ago for Van. I'm trying to work this one out because this does not seem like the Bezier that we've seen in the last couple of months, and it doesn't seem like the Van that we've seen in the last couple of months. You can see the frustration on the face of the coach.
I think it's more Van, aren't that same Van team we've been watching for the last couple of months. Bezier, we talked about, yeah, they're engaged, they're committed since they had the changes in staff and organisation at the club. Just the rugby side has been a bit brutal. Now Marquez is back, he can create moments. But again, tonight, a lot of their opportunities haven't come from mesmeric, incredible attacking play or great defence. It's more just hustle and errors from Van.
They've got another opportunity. Oh, push for the back, CS Cohen, sorry. Spills it forward. Pressure relieved.
Cohen looked like Robocop trying to catch a ball there. I don't know what he was. Yeah. Maybe he lost sight of the ball or something. He's like he slapped it down. He couldn't bend his arm.
So, Joe, briefly, what do we know about what Bezier have been docked 2 points for? Now we saw Toulouse; they've been docked a couple of points for the aftermath of the Jaminet situation. But, some fraudulent or inaccurate accounting, I think, was the phrase that was used for Bezier.
Yeah, it can be honest mistakes. It can be someone trying to hide something. The auditors have got so much power; they just go for everything. If they find something, they can punish you, which is a good thing. Keeps rugby more stable.
Yeah, well, it wasn't only Bezier, Biarritz, Dax have been in the walls as well. So yeah, the authorities they're always looking at everything. As Marquez, he's marshalling everything in this game so far. 37 years young, and he's got his backup for Portugal as his backup for Bezier on the bench as well. We'll see Hugo Camacho later. Ben Stevenson. Oh,
jeez, that could be. He tried to pull out, I think. So hopefully we'll get him off because of that.
Bit of WWE from Boulasel. Yeah, he's getting shotted by Cam Dodson at the same time. Oh.
Yeah. Cam Dodson's a big man, isn't he?
He's a big unit.
He's a big man. He's a big unit. I mean, he's built for France. He's built for playing in France. They adore giant second like him.
Tag team in WWE, Boulasel and Dodson.
Again, yeah. Boulasel and Dodson. Hey, that's something. But what we just saw is Bezier's weakness again. In attack, petered out because of poor attack. It went for a kick pressure option, poor kick. They had a poor chase, no pressure on the guy catching, give up a penalty, boom, in their half.
Van, they've only had one attack so far. They have another 22 entry now. What can Ruru create? Phases is not something we've seen from Van in this game so far. Bezier's defence, organised Pauter. The ball is slow.
So that, guys, will always be a penalty.
Yeah,
Marquez is foolish for trying it. When there's anyone lying on the floor on the wrong side.
Oh, we got some bagarre.
Get that bell out. Ding, ding. When everyone's lying on the floor near the ball, just leave the ball alone. There Marquez went in. Even if he was on the ball, it doesn't matter. There's loads of tacklers lying on the wrong side, preventing the support players in attack. it's going to mean that you get penalised all day long. What happened there? As he was getting up, did he kick Marquez?
It was the big German Eric Marks was on the deck.
besoin de ça, on donne un mauvais exemple à tous les garçons qui nous regardent, ok? Donc on reste au jeu. Non, ok, c'est bon. Merci.
Was that Eric Marks doing a Tomo Ramos? It's him. There's a red card for a full-on punch from Effie Maffey, the Nevers player. In the last round. So that was outrageous, Bagar.
Sortez, s'il vous plaît. Sortez, merci.
Enzo Benmagal is waiting in space. You feel this will not be given to him, at least not until the forwards have had a chance to return the favour that Boulasel had. James O'Reilly on his debut, the Kiwi. They're not going over. Ruru feeds Lafarge via his centre. Takola. Legs pumping to the 5-metre line.
Ballon dispo bien derrière.
Blanc Mapes in support to tidy the ball up, try and generate some quick ball. Boulasel.
Again, the referee is telling him, lash, leave it alone, leave it alone. I think he judged that he was tackler, second tackler. Yeah, so he put him down on the ground. And he never showed enough daylight, never showed his chicken wings to the referee. Let's have a quick look. No time for that. They're going to do one of their specials.
Well, watch out for Ruru scoring a try. Maybe not on the first attempt. Oh!
That looked incredibly easy.
That looked too simple. I was looking at what went wrong.
That was so choreographed. That was like choreography. That was like a...
Steve Blanc Mapes again.
Incredible. Let's have a look at that, please.
Was that forward?
He's in front of him, but he takes it off.
He takes it off him.
Yeah, but it can't be a forward pass if you take it off someone, can it?
Oh no, it did. Or did it leave his arm? I guess that's the question. If he just took it off him.
Yeah, Scrum.
There was something did not look right about that.
I know, it doesn't look right, does it? I remember that happened to me it was on the Lions tour in 09, and I reached out my arm forward and put it in the gut of someone. It was a gut pass, and he was in front of me. And it got given as a knock on, or forward pass. I was like, what the hell? So harsh, but actually he lost that, didn't he? Didn't mean to put it in Blanc Mapes into his gut.
Anyway. It came out of Takola's under his arm. I think you're right. Had Blanc Mapes just taken it from him, try time. Big moment. 35 minutes gone already. We're 10-5 in this game. Bezier languishing down there in 13th place in Pro D2 before tonight started.
Yeah, they are in the mix. In trouble.
They've got a job to do at scrum time. Van go on the attack, but Bezier ride it.
They disintegrated them there. They disintegrated the Van scrum there. That was a beautiful scrum. Obviously, Donut Man's gone off, and maybe his donuts are holding together.
Christian Juge.
That Van scrum.
With the pen.
Yeah, Juge really... let's have another look. I hope to see that scrum again. I think you saw Juge split. I think you'll see here, good shot from mine. See that loose head? Just gets turned around and split off. That means Juge has put so much weight on him, and then he's...
He's a pretty handy player that he's just split his way under Beneditis, signed from Cast.
Yeah, but Wawa, as we called him at Cast, scrummaging was his weakest point. Incredible ball carrier, great hair, scrummaging, not so good.
Marquez with another one of those short nudges. Stevenson was there in place, but does not take it.
Still, I'm not a fan of these little dinks. Listen, they're having to resort to this. Marquez likes doing it. The winger's running onto it. They can look amazing in 4-4. You can score, but it's a relatively high-risk option. If it falls to the opposition, again, they could get opportunities certainly to get into a 22 or worse. Not a big fan. Normally, you resort to these types of kicks as a last-minute resort. Maybe they're using them because they think the Van defence with the line speed they have will not cover that space in behind the line. But certainly, what's that, 4th one maybe he's done today?
Yeah, at least. Big blindside here.
Yeah, see the scrum again. Let's see if De Benitez can keep it straight this time.
If Christian Judge can just get a little, get it up on that right-hand side ever such a bit. Your classic 8, 9, 15 type option down the big blind side. Schoolboy rugby. De Benitez, you can see his body language. Angling in on the hip.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful. So if Judge gets to put all his weight down on Wawa's on the back of his, on the upper back and neck, and forces him into a position where he lifts his hips up and lowers his upper body, that's when really it's pain time for the Van scrum. Let's watch this, see if De Benitez can stay low, stay in the game.
We focus on the props a lot, but you've already mentioned Cam Dobson, and with Sean Erie, they've got some giant locks behind those props as well for Bezier.
It does make a massive difference having those near fees behind you pushing. Huge difference.
Oh, that's some force there. Free ball now for Bezier. They can play with a bit of abandon. They haven't been able to use it so far. 2 tries have come from the maul, and the attack is not working on this occasion.
It's definitely not working.
3 points, surely?
Falling over.
1 minute to half time.
Yeah, with the wind as well. Should be fine. I mean, Bezier's attack is brutal, isn't it? Honestly, maybe it is a consequence of, we talked about French teams, that French flair, being able to go for it. Bezier are a really good example of a team who did that. And they were very dangerous and scored quite a few points in games and created some incredible tries. But on the flip side, they were making so many turnovers. They had a really rubbish structured game that they didn't really go in there or do anything. I think they tried to change it, but now they're caught between 2 places. Yeah, that's Scrum. Look at the Benitez.
Bennett.
He got forced down, couldn't hold it, just popped out.
Wawa, as you call him. He got munched.
This scrum imbalance, the scrum difference, will maybe make a big difference when it comes to this game. If you're coughing up, 3 penalties now? Try score an opportunity gone. Attempt to put pressure in their 22 gone, and now 3 points. This could have an effect on the game.
Well, he's missed the conversions. He's got the penalty on the stroke of half-time and given his team, the home side, an 8-point lead at the break. Samuel Marquez is not running off like a 37-year-old man, is he? Spring chicken.
On a mission there.
There is a spring in the step as Van remain on the field to have a little bit of a chat, and they've got some problems to solve.
Ouais, on a envie de mettre du jeu, mais faut pas faire n'importe quoi. Là, il y a
so we've been trying to play, but we've done whatever.
On garde ça et voilà.
Allez, on vous laisse reprendre les vestiaires. On l'a
Not very good.
intercepté.
We could do better than that. Blow over the cheeks and then run off.
Et voilà.
Shortest interview ever.
Yeah, well, they could have been more clear, but they've got to be happy with an 8-point lead against the top of the table. But you've already mentioned we've lost Nick Shonett for Van, and Mako Vanapola not there today. Dave Cherry. So they're international calibre, starting front row, not there, and yeah, that is a problem they've got to solve.
So, Maul getting pushed over for 2 more tries, having issues around the Maul. Scrum, they're having massive issues around the scrum time. And these 2 areas, in any league in the world, would be an issue, but especially in Pro D2, they're massive areas you've got to get right. Van's kicking game and the ability to win those aerial battles and kicking battles is not as good as normal. Let's see what they say about it here.
Pour remettre la main sur le ballon dans cette deuxième période.
Régler des petits soucis de jeu au pied, de conquête. Il faut qu'on mette du rythme pour pouvoir les dépasser et imposer notre jeu. Pour l'instant, c'est trop juste ce qu'on fait. Donc à nous de reprendre la possession et mettre du rythme.
Le vent, ça vous perturbe ou pas?
Un peu, mais on savait très bien qu'ils allaient faire des petits jeux au pied comme ça.
Merci.
Is the wind giving you problems or not? Blow the cheeks? No, not really, but got to play around it.
What I get, what I really appreciate is the players really love doing those half-time interviews. They just can't get enough of it.
You can see he's relishing that experience, wasn't he? With
right.
his nose that looked broken.
I am in South Africa at the minute, and I was having a little think about some rugby. Just rugby generally, French rugby in particular, earlier today. And let's have a look at that as we look at the half-time score. Bezier 13, Van 5. Welcome to the African bush. It's half-time in our live game, but this is me earlier on in the day from the Eastern Cape, a game reserve. I've been out getting in touch with nature before we see some of the wild beasts that are out on the park in Pro de Deux. And I thought I'd just take a minute to kind of reflect on 2025 for France as a national team and as rugby more generally, and sort of look forward into 2026 as well. And let's just be clear, we're just coming off quite a frustrating couple of weeks, at least from a French rugby perspective, from the outside watching, because you had this massive imbalance with a few teams taking Champions Cup very seriously and a bunch of teams just phoning it in. And I guess one thing, I'd probably defend the French teams for that choice. It's a shame, but it's totally understandable because the format allows it. And lots has been said on this. You can qualify for the knockouts of Champions Cup by focusing on just a couple of games, whereas the top 14, and have a look at the fixtures, have a look at the table. I had a look, and there is 6 points separating Lyon in 12th from the top 6, and there is only 8 points separating Lyon in 12th from a top 4 spot and a home match in the barrage. So 1 or 2 wins can generate some inertia, a bit of momentum that can really make a massive difference to the context of the whole season. Whereas in the Champions Cup, unless you are UBB or Stade Toulousain, Toulon, where you have got rich heritage in the competition and you have got a big enough squad that you can battle on both fronts, I totally understand the choice to try and pick a couple of select games to focus on, and then other than that, rest players up and focus on the top 14. It's not... The French teams have, and French rugby in general has copped a lot of flack from people on the outside, but it makes total sense. And the guilty party here is EPCR for the format of the competition, which they need to change. Now, I don't think they're going to change. I think we're stuck with it for a couple of years, but I thought I'd have a think about, and I've had a bit of time, just kind of to myself in the wilderness, and I thought I'd have a think about what I would do. And if I would do, I would start with the principle less is more. One of the problems rugby does is it thinks more matches equals more money, but actually all they've done by adding more teams and more matches is they have just devalued the prestige of this competition. I would have less is more, and I would just have 12 teams, cut it in half, 4 pools of 3. Okay, here you go, EPCR, just take this, do it. I don't even want credit for it, just if you do it, I'll be very, very happy. 12 teams, the top 4 from each league, top 14, URC, Premiership, only the top 4, so it is best versus best, and it feels special, and these are really good teams that have earned the right to play in this competition, not Gloucester, who just have no business being in the competition. They finished 8th in a 10-team league. It's ridiculous. So yeah, top 4, the league winners, or the top of the league, whichever each individual league wants to decide. If they want, whoever ends up lifting the Brennus title to be it, or else in the league position, the team that finishes top in the regular season, they get separated from each other. So they are in a pool each one of the 4 pools. That's the 3 leagues, and then the Champions Cup winner takes the 4th spot, or the 2nd place in the league that the champions, if it's the same club, if a team does the double. So those are the 4 teams that are separated as spot one in each pool, and then you have a team from each of the other leagues in the pool. So we still have 4 pool games, but it's home and away, and we get back the home and away matches. And then you can either go to a quarter-final with the first place in each pool getting a home match, or you can go straight to a semi-final with only the pool winners going through, meaning you would have either 6 or 7 weeks, not 9, but every single game, while there will be fewer games, every single match will be absolute box office stuff. So I think it would actually generate more money, and you would get a better TV deal and more people interested in watching, so more advertisers wanting to spend, than if you had the current situation with loads of matches that no one cares about. So there you go, EPCR, I've just solved that. Let me get on to France, and just a quick health check on the French national team. Great to see Charles Olivon absolutely dominating again for Toulon. Statement performance. So an interesting talking point ahead of the Six Nations is going to be the composition of the French back row. What do you think? Because you've got Paul Boudehon, you've got Charles Olivon back, you've got Francois Cros, you've got Gregory Aldrit, Anthony Gelon, Michael Guillard, and you've got guys like Kapia on the outside just trying to break in. I don't know. Do you persist with Olivon in a lock position because you've just got so many good players, or it's a tough one? And then what is the balance? I don't know. Aldrit seems to be playing himself back into some form, but it's just another backdrop. It's going to be really hard to pick, and it's a good problem for Galtier to have, but it's going to make some of these top 14 games massive, particularly when the two play each other. And things are looking better ahead of the Six Nations in the prop position. Owini Atonio has come back, but the backup at tight head prop, is Regis Montagna that guy? Or, you know, when is Tatafu coming back for Bayonne? What's happened to him? So there's still an issue there, and without Cyril Bay playing at loose head prop, there's Erdesio, not 100% sure about that. So there's some issues to solve. The backup hooker without Piato Malvaca, Galtier seems a bit confused there. So particularly the backups in the front row position is one to watch. The fly half position is always going to be a talking point. Jalibert, incredible in the Champions Cup. Galtier doesn't seem to fancy him. Romain Ntamak has been his guy, but should Thomas Ramos step up to 10? Because there are weaknesses with the aerial ability of the French team, and they're going to keep getting targeted. Me and Joe Worsley have spoken about it many, many times before. Atisogbe is still out, but when he's back, you know, would Galtier want to try him at 15 because he's good in the air? Burros has been back for Bordeaux. Could he be a solution? I suspect it will probably be Ramos and Ntamak in the Six Nations, but it's an issue for Galtier to solve, as it is in the centre, although it's a different issue to November, where it was who is he going to play and are they going to be good enough? Now it's which one of the great options is he going to play, because Moefana is back for Bordeaux. You've got Gorge, who's come through and is emerging in that 12 position. Deportier had a breakout November, and you've still got Ficou and Gaetan, Barassi as well. So which ones? What is the composition? What is the starting? What is the best team? I guess that's one of the issues with France, and it's kind of a good problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. What is the best team? And a lot of that will be dictated on how does Galtier want to play. And finally, when you look at the fixtures, the one worry I have about 2026 for France, tell me what you think, is they could be caught cold again. I think it happened with South Africa. They had no build-up to that big game in Paris, whereas South Africa had the game against Japan to just, you know, oil the wheels, and they came off the back of the Rugby Championship. Six Nations, France are straight into a match against Ireland. Now, they are at home. They should be favourites. They will be favourites, but a little worry that they are going to maybe be caught cold straight off the back of top 14 and straight into Six Nations. There's potential there, whereas in Ireland they control the players much, much more, and you'd imagine Andy Farrell will have his players out of the Leinster, Munster, Connacht and Ulster camps much sooner than probably Fabien Galtier. And then it's a nice build-up. So then I think you're going to see France, the last game against England is going to be monumental, because they play Wales, Italy, Scotland, so it ramps up nicely to England. So I think that the real banana skin for France is Ireland first up. And then just looking further ahead, what are France going to do with the Nations Championship? Are they going to take it seriously? Their first game, and again, I wonder if they could be undercooked again in July, because their first game is New Zealand. Are they going to send a good team? Will they be able to go for it week one? I don't know. I doubt it. with the top 14 as it currently is, which is another reason, going back to the very start of this little chat, is change the format of the Champions Cup to what I suggested, to 6 or 7 weeks with more elite teams. And you also, what I would do, finish the top 14 earlier, then do the Champions Cup, then have a break, and then we'll have best teams playing in the Nations Championship. Solved it all. I've just solved rugby for you. There you go. And with that done, should we get back to some Pro Did rugby? Bezier, you're ahead. We're going to be going to see George North again in the new year. There's a 2-week break in Pro D2 before the next game at Provence against Grenoble. That'll be a belter. Grenoble trying to change their fortunes. Provence have come back into form after a rocky start. That'll be a big one on Thursday, January the 8th, round 16. There's some of the people that make this production possible. And I hope you appreciate the content on FR UK. There's loads of stuff going on, loads of interviews you can catch up with, stuff bubbling through the week, as well as the live rugby in Pro D2. And if you want even more content, then go and check out Ross Beef Rugby. They do some great work, preview the games. I love watching their stuff, good interviews, and they're out there in France giving you little travel tips, as well as knowing their oignon when it comes to the rugby.
Les oignons. Les oignons.
Okay, well, I'm not sure where Bezier has gone, Joe, but lights out at this particular moment.
Yeah,
but let's catch up on Perpy. Let's catch up on Perpy. Your couple of weeks in the Challenge Cup. How was it?
Interesting. So, a first win for the whole season against Dragons. Dragons had their first win last weekend. Incredible against Leon. Leon sent probably the bin juice, but still fair play, Dragons. So yeah, first win goes well. We rested a lot of people in that game. We rested even more in the Treviso game. Treviso, not a bad team. Again, but just a few too many mistakes to have a chance of winning the game, but we were in it. And now this weekend, a huge match against Clermont at home.
Just if you're wondering, I don't know what's going on here. The feed to Bezier has gone. We believe it's coming back. Our friends at Canal Plus, there's never a problem for long, so we'll be back there soon. So yeah, what does a win do? Was there just the boys must have? Was that the first time they got to sing their song after a win in how long? Like 6 months or whatever.
That didn't sing a song. There's some new players who hadn't drunk a beer out of a boot, which is nice to see. Still those traditional kind of things. A can of beer out of someone's boot. Someone had to neck, and then yeah, just relief, really relief after months of not winning to get one under the belt. Now that obviously it was in a competition which is not as important as the top 14. This weekend, Clermont at home, back in our stadium, allowed back to our stadium after having to play in a different stadium because of fan trouble, which doesn't happen often at rugby, but basically there's a fight between Racing and Perpignan months ago, and a couple of fans tried to join in that fight by jumping on the pitch, and that caused the team to have to play at Bezier for one game. Now, this is actually my first proper home game. I'm really looking forward to it because everyone talks about how passionate these Perpignan fans are. Obviously played here with Wasps, incredible atmosphere the 2 times I played here. And to be here representing Perpignan, to feel the energy that's going to go on around that stadium will be exciting, to say the least. The fans literally are nuts. They're mad for it. I'm going to film our next away trip, or when the bus pulls up at the stadium, there are, 500 fans smashing the side of the bus, screaming, letting fireworks off. Yeah, it's off the hook.
Well, just to reassure you, as soon as we can get back to Bezier, we'll be there. We were there a moment ago. And someone's pulled a plug in the broadcast truck en français. So we are at the whim of our friends over the pond. So I can only apologise. In the meantime, me and Joe will keep chatting rugby. Please stick around. We have squirrels working away in the background. Still no feed in Bezier. Well, this is a bit annoying. I'm really enjoying the game, Joe.
I am too. Let's get back to it before it restarts. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on. What's going on? Come on.
Come on, Canal. Get there. Twist those buttons.
Come on, Canal.
Link up that broken wire. Get us back in the loop as soon as possible, please, because I was enjoying that game.
Yeah.
Bezier was showing a fight. They were lucky because Van have turned up and they're not quite firing all cylinders. So this could be an opportunity for Bezier to put down a signature victory. 8 points ahead at halftime. Winds, there's a bit of wind as a factor, but I want to see what's going on because Bezier were really fighting for it. It's a game in the balance. Come on, Canal, get us back on board with this.
Get us back on. Oh, I'm gonna jump. Let me jump in the chat. See what's going on there. See if there's any questions or any thoughts. I can only apologise. Well, I say I'm sorry. It's nothing to do with us. I can just tell you that much. We are as frustrated as you will be. I've got no doubt. Okay. Well,
So
we think
we're getting messages.
Fingers crossed. We're getting positive messages. Fingers crossed. Come on. Oh. It's like we just got something. We just got something there. We just got something like sound and Ray. So I'm having. Oh, well, man.
It's still 13 points to 5. And another Fruck first is commentating on a game you can't see. But it's more radio, isn't it? It's probably not first at all.
Oh.
Yeah, so Bezier currently attacking.
Is a crime.
Yeah. Bezier currently attacking around.
Are you watching on your Canal Plus app, Joe?
I am on my Canal Plus.
Well, like what? This is why we got the blimmin' coverage, so people didn't have to do that. Well, actually,
I'm in France.
You're in France. That makes sense.
I'm in France watching Canal Plus.
Yeah.
And they haven't messed up with their own domestic broadcasting.
Well, good. They've just messed up with ours.
Fantastic clarity.
There will be words.
I can just see a messy start to the second half.
There will be words, Joe. There'll be a strongly worded email.
Ooh, another tackle, the number 8.
You're actually doing this. You're
you're listening to.
Hold on. Let me just
arms tackle again.
Let me just summarise what's going on. You are watching FI UK Rugby. We acquired the broadcast rights to bring you Pro de Deux, and we are commentating on a game with a black screen. Oh, we got a game! Yes, we're in. Joe Worsley was commentating on his Canal Plus app.
Well, before the first tackle, he called him a PUSSY. I don't know what he's going to call him for this one because that is a little bit more dirty. He catches his leg as the studs hit the deck. I think he's done his medial ligament. Does he use an arm? Does an arm come out enough there at any point, you think, Tim, to call that a tackle?
I want to see the contact. I think he had. I'm just going to look now because the camera doesn't really show it. The camera doesn't show it.
No, he's saying it's not illegal because he got his arms, started moving his arms a bit. It was a terrible pass. If I was that Bezier player, I'd be livid with the 10. Give me a pass like that into a massive line of first phase, you're going to get hit so hard anyway. Aubrey will be getting some grief from him.
Ok, je veux un arrêt sur image. Ok, moi sur cette image-là, j'ai un bras au sol, mais c'est l'épaule droite qui plaque et j'ai le bras droit qui est engagé vers l'avant. Donc pas de jeu déloyal ici.
Yeah, so he's saying his right arm was actually engaged and moving in forward motion. So it wasn't just the shoulder.
I've seen people penalised for having a knee on the floor, though. Not that I think they necessarily should, but...
Well, that was just a clumsy episode, wasn't it? But it looks like he's actually up and about. I thought his medial ligament had gone, but evidently not.
Play on. Jouet. Well, here we are. We only missed a couple of minutes. We've put 50p in the meter. And the game is on. And it's a cracking game as well. Significant points at stake for Bezier. Van have got a 7-point cushion coming into this evening. They could be eating their Christmas dinner, feeling very smug, if they can turn this around. Ruru.
Or they have a sick feeling in their belly.
Yeah.
Having lost a game at Béziers, a team they should beat.
Scrum is under pressure again, but they get the ball away.
Ooh, shank.
Duplen is chasing, and it's Anon that skews it.
That was terrible. I mean, again, Van have gone back to a very simple tactic there. Simple miss, slam it into the corner. Wasn't even that well executed, but then that kick was diabolical. If he carries on kicking like that, especially with that wind becoming a factor, then they'll be doing that to him all day long.
Well, there's been a replacement at half-time, as you can see. El Bibaji, sorry, is on for James Riley on his debut.
Oh,
Budahon
nice
to Ruru. Ruru, he's not going to score again as he's fallen just short. Not adding to his tally right now. But the big men trying to take it closer to the line there within 1 metre. An error from Bezier, a poor kick, and it's led to this moment right at the start of the second half.
Oh, he knocked it on. He was really happy about that. That was a lovely offload. I want to see that again. Yes, they'll be disappointed again there, another error. But they've substituted their new signing. You wouldn't be too happy with that. Your first start for your new club, substitute at half-time because your darts weren't correct. But they're trying to solidify their set piece and against some poor defence. A lovely offload there. Weighted it perfectly for his night. Couldn't get his leg free. And then an error with a pick and go from the forwards. Again, letting Bezier off the hook. Will we see a scrum now that's more solid than what we had before? So not only the line-out's going poorly, the scrum was getting... I was about to say a bad word there. The scrum was getting beaten very soundly. Let's see if the replacement front row can save this Van scrum from being penalised remorselessly.
Or can Christian Juge squeeze another pen? Held firm this time. Pauter carries from the base. Gonteniak carries, and Marquez. It's like he's hiding behind a bush when he's waiting to kick that.
Like a paintball player or something. Waiting to pounce on someone. Hey, not bad kick. Be happy with that. It looks like maybe that leg was more effective than we thought.
The Belgian is on. William van Bost. He played in all of those World Cup qualifier matches where Belgium couldn't get any close to making a World Cup. Actually making a World Cup. And Pauter's had a big busy
improvement.
Off with one scrummer, on with another. Lafarge. And those two centres combining again. This time Takola keeps hold. Budahon runs the decoy line. Pedemonte, the Argentine, round the corner. There's a penalty advantage. Pedemonte to Boulier.
The Bezier player tackled. He was in offside position, so he stood up and he interrupted the play. Bruru made the referee completely clear on it by throwing the ball into him as well. Poor play from the Bezier tackler. When you're in those kind of offside positions, you've got to understand the nature of the collision around you and make sure you don't in any way affect the play behind it. I mean, it's a bit... We'll see here. Was it Cam?
Cam Dodson. I think we mentioned it last time. Bezier, we had a live. They revolved in a live game. He had 2 appearances for your old team Wasps. This is teammate though that's got up at the front of the line-out. I think that was Eru. Straight up at the front, and so they've changed the hooker of Van, but same outcome at line-out time, even from front ball. Not taking care of business at set piece, and it's costing them. They have possession, but they're 40 metres back from where they were just moments ago. Stevenson acts as halfback twice. Is Ruru okay? He's there, he's back in the game. The ball is slow. Pedemonte thought about the offer, load round the back. The ruck is... Yeah. Van trying, they're going through phases. Some lifts, now it's loosened up a bit. We haven't seen the men on the extremities with much ball.
Oh, that's such a lame penalty. I don't like that law.
Yeah, I don't like that law, to be honest.
It's rubbish.
Yeah, like when the ball rolls, because if the ball was bobbling around in open play, you can dive on it. But if it comes out of a ruck and bobbles along the floor, you can't dive on it. It just doesn't make sense.
It's just rubbish. It's a bizarre law. I mean, rugby's complicated enough. Just let that one go.
I had a I hung out with the English refs who were refereeing the Stormers v La Rochelle game at the weekend. I was in Port Elizabeth watching that, and I chatted to them, and they pointed out it was Eddie Jones, that this exact law, it was Eddie Jones that made that happen, because it's been in the law books for years that is the law. But no one ever refereed it until Eddie Jones pointed out when the referees didn't do it.
Is that Pasolo Tuolangi's tiny clone?
Van. They are two Mull tries scored against them in the first half. Are they going over for one in the first half? Sorry, they're going over for one in the second.
Ooh. Maybe
Try
that win
time
was a big thing.
for Bibuji. I'm having real trouble with his name.
His hair's amazing, though, isn't it?
El Bibuji. There we go.
I'm loving it. But that maybe the wind is a big factor, because territory-wise, it seems to be all Van in the second half thus far. Obviously, Bezier made some errors to allow Van into their position, but if this carries on worrying, the scrum advantage seems to have gone from the replacements they made. Yeah, Van lost the line out earlier in the 22. It's that one they won, and they got them all over the line. So from a position where Bezier were dominating mauls, dominating scrums and dominating territory, now it seems to be nullified in dominating the opposition up front. Now territory-wise, they're suffering. Ooh.
Lafarge, dead-eye.
Smoked that one, didn't he?
That is Lafarge, 98 points for the season. Coach is a lot happier after hitting factory reset at half-time by the look of it. This is a bit more like Van. More replacements on for Bezier. Replacement front row is on for the home side. They still have a slender lead, 1 point. But yeah, just a little tap from Ruru really flew. I think you might be right about the wind, Joe.
Yeah, when the wind's that strong, you just bash it up in the air as a 9 and it carries, and you smash people like that. 4 or 5 second hang time. Straight
off the bench, Arroyo. Spent a few years at Montpellier. He's tasted the top flight. They want more. With Bezier, they're a long way from that this season, but they're going toe-to-toe at the minute with the top of the table in Pro D2. No! Marquez still conducting the orchestra. But truthfully, when they've been on attack, they've not been playing a great tune. And that was experience. Oh. Cube-shaped Arroyo again on 3. He's been busy. Still got penalty advantage. And the ball is fast.
He must. I think he knew he had advantage there, but still.
He was just showing off how far he can pass it.
On a 2 pénalités. Le plaqueur ou hors-jeu plus au milieu du terrain. Le plaqueur au niveau des 15
mètres. So he's offering which penalty he wants to take. Cam Dodson picked up an absolute pizza though from Marquez earlier as well. Great hands from the big number 4 in the second row to carry it up and catch that ball. Kept the attack going there, won the penalty after. What do you do here? You tap it over.
Yeah. Take the points when they're on. You're right about, you said Fasolo Tuolangi's slightly smaller clone. I just assumed that was a prop, but that is Jerome Defoe, isn't it? Who is he's coming on as a lock.
Part of a project to clone Tuolangi's.
It's a solid tactic.
Yeah, the two-leggy cloning farm.
Right,
here we go.
Marquez nails this one. 7 for Van, 3 back for Bezier. It's a 4-point game.
Beautiful kick. Come on now, Bezier need to see if he can get some territory. Let Van start making errors like they're making the first half. Get another score on the board. Get 2 scores clear. Try and give themselves some leeway.
We could see some or all of that Bezier front row back on the field before long. It's interchanges in French rugby. Yeah, no distance on that kick.
Again, that is
wind is absolutely a factor.
They did not need. Wow, kickoffs is a big one for me. They just got up in the opposition half, created an opportunity, maintained the ball for 5-6 phases, won a penalty, kicked 3 points. Then that kickoff, they receive a kickoff, mess up the exit kick. Immediately opportunity for Van.
And Van is shaping for another maul. They've got Pedemonte in the half-back position. Then they shape for a maul, then the ball comes out. Pedemonte wangs it to midfield. The one remaining forward that was out there carries it through. They're stacked up on the left-hand side. They go one way.
Nice.
But it is Defoe.
So another look at Mini Tuolangi as he manages to take the grattage to scratch the ball, jackal the ball. So chop tackle, he's waiting right over, pounces on the ball before any of the opposition have a chance to get there. That's why good quality tackle in the legs with a jackler around it. It's just gold for the defence. And we saw there, great angle.
Former Pau player, and Marc Boulier, who's signed from Rouen. Maxime Lafarge, it looks like he might have a little knock there. There's certainly a strained look on his face. Maua signing for Nevers from Bezier. Won the breakdown penalty. Sorted the line out. Cam Dobson links with Marquez. And they're playing off fast ball. It's on a plate, and when they go round the corner with those big men, it's working. Cohen. To the replacement, the Belgian Van Bost. Arroyo's waiting. So hard to stop. And I think they're best off keeping it narrow. It's not gone well when Bezier have gone to the edge.
Non, je.
Oh, after all that.
Blank Mapes, 1.5 tries for him. He had one disallowed. Try scorer earlier for Van. Picks up the loose ball. Rare lack of composure from Marquez. Through an offload that wasn't really on.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, the tempo on that attack is really good. Bezier forwards running onto it with pace. Multiple attackers clearing it out, repeating, doing that. And yeah, Marquez's option. To be fair, he has done a couple of decisions today. He created it initially with his ability to read the space, make the offload. But a couple of times today, he has bounced off and done something which led to moments like we can see here. Offload rattling on the floor, 2 forwards dive on it, knock on, exit.
There you go, it is number 16 at the back. Mawai, his hair made it look like an 18 earlier. I thought that was an odd looking look. Order is restored in the universe. I know they're like big men in the second row. La Rochelle had one at the weekend that could have been a prop. He's been busy since he's been on, that is for sure. The crowd calling for every 50-50. They have penalty advantage again. Talking of cubes, Arroyo must be about his 5th carry since he's been on.
Cylinder.
The defence is up fast. Rare touch on the outside. He's overcooked that, has he?
Surely. Marquez is ridiculously offside, isn't he?
I think we might be able to look at a late tackle. The guy was offside. There's someone down injured.
Right, let's go and have a look. I didn't see the late hit.
I'm just assuming that's what it might be. So I have no idea.
22 blanc, plaquage à retardement sur une action dynamique.
So 22 late tackle, wide 22 late tackle.
Contre le 22, ça te convient? C'est ce quoi?
I mean, French referees,
là-bas le ballon porté, ici le 22 qui vient plaquer après le coup de pied le joueur rouge, donc ce sera
investment they've made.
pour le 22.
The league and the federation together are now working to put millions more into it, and they've just got this development pathway of referees coming through, which is really dragging up the quality of refereeing. They needed to, because if you can imagine, there's 3 professional leagues. You need so many quality referees to run all those areas. Ooh. That looks like footballs from the 70s there. That's a red card, I don't know. Did he mean to do that?
Giving him the benefit of the doubt, and yeah, I think yellow's fair. They're going for it, Bezier. Oh, it's where the ball landed. What do they do? What do they do?
Scrum.
Go for a scrum.
Is Bezier still on?
No.
No, the cylinder's on.
This
time,
is.
isn't
We've got the cube. Arroyo. Juge watching from the bench.
Mini Tuolangi. Surely it's going to go forward.
Mini Tuolangi.
I mean, Posolo Tuolangi, I'm used to big men. Henry's dad was a big guy. But Posolo is enormous. Sometimes he walks past me and it's just the sun's blocked. It's just ridiculous. It's just an enormous human. They're trying to get him, the French squad, the French coaches and staff are trying to make him become a front row. Trying to persuade him to step up into the row, yeah.
Do you think he could?
I don't know, it's late in the day, isn't it? Sheridan did it. He was a back row, went to second row and ended up loose. But he started that process.
I played in a game. I played in Andrew Sheridan's first game at prop. He started the game at second row and then he went to prop and ran over the top of me to score a try. Pre-season friendly. Newbury against Bristol.
You're not the first. He's a massive strong.
Oh, I felt like they should have kept that one in, but Cone, has he got that down?
Attends, arbitrage vidéo. Non.
Why is he going to the video? I'd love to see.
C'est risque, j'ai besoin de voir si je gêne le défenseur.
So he's saying, did someone hold a defender? It did seem like he had a lot of time on that ball.
Je suis dans sa zone, j'essaie de sortir.
My gut feeling was, I don't know why he broke off from the scrum. Look at that scrum.
The referee's worried he stopped the defender. No, to be fair, he did.
Okay.
He probably did.
Je peux pas accorder l'essai, je gêne le 13 blanc, donc je vais rendre le ballon rouge, mais les rouges.
Oh, mate, that's harsh, isn't it?
You're going to
So
replay the
he's going to go
scrum?
back in another scrum.
Ouais, ouais, moi aussi.
C.S. Cohen just needs to keep that ball in.
Non, non, non.
Hang on. Is the player he blocked still on the floor?
Écoute-moi, arrête. Arrête. Merci. Non, non, vous là-bas.
Feisty nines, the world over.
Désolé.
I think he ran past him and just tweaked his knee. Look at his right heavily strapped knee. Yeah. I think he might have done his knee. Oh my God. That would be a bad. That'd be a first I've seen where the referee, because that'd be a ACL or MCL as well.
Oh wow. The
referee's
going to go and
feel
apologise,
so
shake
bad.
his hand.
The referee's going to feel so bad.
Vas-y.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all in Pro de Deux, the referee's taking players out.
Yeah, because you're not expecting it either. So you just switched off all. You're ready for a contact. You fire up your legs, get ready for what's coming. It just makes an enormous difference. But he wouldn't have realised the referee was going to glance his leg as he positioned it in a really weak position to change direction.
In the referee's
already
defence,
heavily strapped.
possibly in the referee's defence, when you look at Pierre Boudahon's knee, it's clearly been strapped heavily on that side already. But he's hobbling off behind the dead ball line. I hope he's back soon. Another injury for Van.
Flexion.
Yeah, he's done something there.
Lié.
Marquez is not looking happy. Oh, this is power. C.S. Cohen this time tries to keep it in. Penalty advantage. Marquez goes and scores.
I think I would have taken another scrum, actually.
Squeeze the yellow card.
To be fair, he scored.
He scores. There's 20 minutes in the game and they are 2 scores clear once again.
I mean, the Van players are saying did not take that from the mark, from the back of the scrum. I think he probably did. The referee afterwards this happened. To be fair, he's not listening to it. Where's the penalty? A metre or two off, but not too bad,
Play on. Reward the positive play.
Ok. Ok, je vais regarder. Mais il faut que tu ailles plus vite aussi de ton côté, s'il te plaît.
It's a really strange technique, isn't he?
Yeah.
Settling into his rhythm.
This for an 11-point lead. Van have only lost 1 game in their last 10 in Pro de Deux. They've been comfortable at the top. Bezier cannot buy a win.
He's got a great step on him, hasn't he?
He is their main man, has been for some time. He's played at Toulouse, he's played at Pau, he's played at Brive. Giving the end of his career to Bezier, they love him here. 37 years young. Critical try. Now this is a critical moment. Clean exit is what Bezier will want. The caterpillar comes out and Marquez finds a good touch.
That is a great kick. I do not like when teams wait in the 22 to get tackled so they can kick it out, but if your 9 can kick like that every time, then it's acceptable. With the pressure they put on the line out in the first half, I know they've brought on the reserve hooker who seems to be throwing the ball a lot better. They've still had a bit of issues with this line-up.
I'm not sure how much longer Marquez will be on the field. He's cramping up. He's just doing some stretches in the 5-metre line. Another error from Van and a chance at another penalty potentially for Bezier.
Van looking ropey.
I mean, the context is the sheer number of injuries they've they've got in their squad. As Eric Marks comes back on. Rivers keeping his doing as well. Mikel Alanya, the Georgian.
Stacked, isn't he? Stacked for a night.
He's probably the best player in Pro D this season, I would say. 8 tries.
Alani's on now. Nice, very quick. His kicking's got a lot better. Not your typical Georgian, in that he's not enormous and over 100 kgs.
Bezier given an easy out for Van, given all the scrum pressure we just saw a moment ago on their own line. The free kick, and Alanya brings the tempo. They've taken a chance, not going for the option of the kick. Maybe they will this time. Here's Alanya himself who's going to put the ball up. And one, Ben McGall with an outrageous offload. Blank Mapes. Marks back on the field, takes it to within 5. Van, the opportunity to hit straight back. Out the back it comes. There is space. Stevenson. Try number 4 of the season for the former Falcon.
We went from poor play, error-strewn match, very exciting, very engaging match, to what a wonderful sequence of play that was.
That's beautiful.
Incredible, amazing kick, amazing aerial duel, amazing offload, good carry, clear out, followed by lovely decision making and passing. What a try.
And do you know one thing that doesn't really won't get noticed as so much? It's the fact that it's the replacement hooker coming in at scrum half and sticking a really long wide pass to the 12, which opened up the space out wide. Excellent skills.
Nice bit of skill. I mean, if that pass wasn't so good, maybe Bezier get up in their faces and defend it, but no chance with the crispness of the passing. Fantastic. Fantastic try.
Dragged inside the left-hand post.
That pass is a pearler.
That was a peach. Game on. Yeah, Marquez in no rush. The clock is their friend at the moment. 6 points the difference. 2-week break, remember, before round 16. This is the halfway point in the Pro D season. Tuolangi clone flying in at the ankles. Alanya finds a touch. At this point, Joe, at this point in a game like this, how much is what Van have already been through? They've come through tight games, and Bezier have stuttered so much, like psychologically in the back of your mind.
Honestly, yeah, I think Bezier, with this point, then got one more try me under the belts, because Van at some point had clicked. We saw him click there. They carry on that. They're going to pass ahead of Bezier. That's my concern. I would think at the moment Van will come through and win the game. That's my gut feeling. Unless Bezier managed to at least get one more try on the board.
And I've forgotten that Van scored that try with a man less on the field. There's a minute and a half left of the yellow card. Arroyo has carried hard since he's been on. Accidental offside and error.
Oh. That is a forward. That's not going as highlights reel.
16 rouge rentre dans le 4 rouge en jaune volontaire. Mêlée.
He won't want us repeating that one.
Oh dear, Cam Dodson.
Literally.
The try line is not there, not up there.
Head up mini to Len's rear end.
Arrêt du temps.
Doing his bloopers reel.
Le capitaine, vous n'êtes pas médecin.
Although
Restez dans votre
the
rôle.
scrum
Restez dans
has
votre
become
rôle.
dominant again. Let's see if this Bezier team can create an opportunity with this scrum, because yes, another penalty now would be goal for Bezier. That's a fair old injury list as well.
Yeah, it's not just Van with the injuries, is it?
Limping into their Christmas break.
On reprend
At least the referee didn't injure any of those guys, I don't think.
This is in a very kickable position if Bezier could squeeze another scrum penalty, and that would put them again 2 scores clear.
But again, on the flip side, they have a solid scrum. This is a dirty scrum to defend. It's horrible because of the amount of backfield you have to cover.
Yeah, so win the penalty advantage first, and then have a crack. Oh no, it's
No, yeah, so they win the penalty on the opposition scrum, or they manage to get a secure scrum and get a play either way. There should be space to play to, and they got it away.
Bezier from inside their own half. The kick is short. Judge well. And again, not gathered. That's been one of the errors, one of the issues with Van's performance. They've not taken care of business aerially. Marquez to Cohen. Marquez comes back down the blind side. Looks for another territorial-based kick. It doesn't pay off. That's not a great kick from Van. What can the chase do? Courteau carries it back. We haven't seen a lot of the Bezier wingers this evening. We've seen plenty of the forwards. Cohen again with the carry. I wondered if there was an opportunity on the edge on that one. Didn't take it. Keep possession in this middle third of the pitch. And with the game as it is, maybe that's a wise call. Alanya is back there. Dummies. Returns. Ooh. Thought this is a hospital pass for a second there from Marquez, but Anon does well. Error.
Touch judge saw that one.
It's a big error.
Okay.
Van back to 15 now. Joe, as he was going down, the player was half holding the ball. And as he hit the deck and all that weight went through his body, the ball just slipped out, went forwards. Opportunity now for Van.
Marquez just shaking off some cramp. His Portuguese teammate and backup for the country is also waiting on the bench should Marquez not be able to carry on, and he's on his last legs by the look of it. But he's a difference maker. Van have got to do their work at scrum time first. They held firm. Oh dear.
17 qui tourne autour du droitier.
Quite a big call considering
17 rouge tourne autour du
how
droitier.
much Bezier have been dominating that area.
Chauth, the man penalised.
Massive moment there. That's a big call from the ref. He must be very sure
Sortez.
that they'd stepped around and gone through.
Marquez is evening. It is done yet. Hugo Camacho.
C'est bon pour changement?
Portuguese international himself.
Attends, non, il est là.
Replaces a Portuguese legend, the guy who scored the winning points
Reprise du temps.
in that Fiji World Cup match. It was Marquez that nailed the conversion. He's going to have to watch from the sidelines for the final 9 minutes of this one. See if Bezier can hold on. Or can Van go to work and extend their lead at the top of Pro de Deux? Extend their run of wins in the league. And and just extend the sense that they are the team to beat and on their way back to the top 14. Another penalty. It's just, again, it's that decision making, Joe. You mentioned when there's a man lying on the wrong side, don't compete for the ball.
Yeah, I don't think he even released him. I think that was a player rushing to try and sort a situation out rather than just being patient, defending the next phase, waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Let's have a look here. Tackle. Yeah, he's even touching him as he's going down.
I know a lot of work goes in on that one, doesn't it? In clubs identifying when you can, when you should just leave it.
Yeah, it's something you've got to live, to experience to get better at.
Oh, this is well set. This is going to the house. They've got a penalty advantage. Alanya is waiting.
No, lâchez 19. Derrière.
What do Van do? They chance their arm.
Stay close. Stay close.
Stay narrow, stay close, get the big men rumbling. Gorisson. Try scorer already.
The coaches will be angry. Just be patient. There's no hurry. You're 2 meters away from the line. You got penalty advantage. Just keep having a go. If it's blatantly on for the backs, then go for it. If it's not, just keep chipping away.
What'd you do here, Joe?
They look like a couple of pirates.
Yeah. Tap it.
They're going for another one of their moves. Let's see if it was... Well, the last one was disallowed, but it looked good.
It is the same. No, out the back this time. Oh dear, oh dearie me, this could be a turnaround. Oh, what was that? What are you doing?
Oh, what a moan.
Non, les mecs!
Oh, sorry.
Les mecs! Lâchez!
Sorry, guys.
Jeu à plat.
My word, this is madness. Out the back. Again to the edge. Carbon copy almost of what we just saw a moment ago. Ben Stevenson not able to get to the line on this one. Bezier just had to hold the ball. They've given an opportunity for Van. Forward pass. Van giving away the opportunity themselves.
I can't believe the choice he made in that offload. If he just held it, they were incredible. Apologies for my language. I got carried away. But that was a key moment. I thought they were going to break their line break and maybe go up into the opposition half at least. It would have been a key moment for Bezier to maybe come through and win this game. After Van's ridiculously overcomplicated move. We were bigging up the one earlier, but then the 5 meter move they used on that second time was pretty poor. It was almost comically overcomplicated. It resulted in a turnover. Now, Bezier, really, they really should have held on to that. They should have done better with the ball they had. Instead, they threw it back to Van and were luckily given a forward-pass decision. Yeah.
Eru and Pauter back on. Some tonnage coming back onto the field. As a defence coach, though, you must love shots like that one from, I think it was it Van Bost, who put the shot in as the offload was being given, which just forced it forward.
Yeah, he's a big shot, wasn't it, from the Belgian? Collisions make the difference. Collisions make the difference in rugby. Physicality you can bring. Your team's under the pump like they were there after a turnover to a turnover. Complete disorder. One way of bringing things back to order is to absolutely dominate a physical collision, which allows you to defensively slow it down, get yourself back into position, or maybe even, as you saw in that instance, create a turnover on its own.
This is a massive scrum. We've seen penalties and free kicks going in both directions in the second half. Bezier have been massively dominant at other points in the game. I want one of those now. And they've earned one.
Well, that was more like it, because that last penalty they were given was a bit sus. Honestly, they've been dominating the scrum all game. To swing one the other way, the referee had to be quite adamant about it. Great kick.
We're seeing the future of the Portuguese national team at the minute. Camacho, the scrum half, number 20. Aubrey, who just got a good touch there, the fly half, number 10. The pair of them, 21 and 22 respectively. But that man, will he make the next World Cup? He'll be 38 going on 39 if he does.
He makes such a difference to that Portuguese team in that World Cup. His ability to bring the magic, some of which you saw tonight, he does too much sometimes, but when he gets it right, he's pretty awesome.
Oh, dearie me, one error goes one way, you win a penalty.
So shielding at the line-out, we talked about this already numerous times. When you're setting up a malt, if they feel that you bring down the jumper and the two support players block the opposition's ability to get to him. Let's have a look here. Not blatant, but there you can see the back lifter at the end looks a bit sus, but again, didn't look blatant.
Well, you've got to give credit to that kick, going all the way to 7 metres out from practically halfway. Another penalty advantage. Van can chance their arm. Alanya, this guy can snipe.
Sacking.
Eru is a nuisance, isn't he, in there? Right, are they going to go for another ridiculous tap move, or are they going to back their line out more?
Marquez is growling on that touchline. Nervous energy, you can't watch. You can't watch. Well, he must have been hurting it. As you say, they were much, much better last year in the league table. They have not had things going their way this year. They have not been great at times. And this win would mean a lot. Luri's back on.
So what positions you come on in?
Yeah, it's a good question. The centre. Stolen by Bezier. This is a topsy-turvy game. It's going to be who makes the last error is going to lose it. There's still time. Camacho.
His nappy's come off from the cylinder cut.
Camacho reaches the just outside the 22.
He's pushing so hard there.
Sur la ligne.
Pressure on the throw. It's a reach. There's no need for the lift, really. It was that drop that short. Big carry in the midfield. And Vanna at the 22. Trying to exploit the holes. Bezier tackling for their life. They've got a 6-point cushion. Can they hold on? We're 2 minutes from the end of the match. Top of the table, Van. 4 wins on the road already in Pro D2. Looking set to go straight back to the top 14. Come off the foot.
C'est touché par le 9 blanc, repris devant par un autre blanc de manière involontaire. Je rends le ballon sur une mêlée rouge.
If that is Van's last attack, then that's a little microcosm of the match, Joe. An error.
Yeah, I mean, their attack's been clunky all year, but not that clunky. Around their attack, it's been pretty brutal, apart from that one brilliant sequence of play with an incredible kick, incredible catch, and then a lovely finish in the disorder. They've really struggled to create anything. It's all been around mistakes and chasing the ball down. It's exactly the kind of game Bezier needed, and they've got it. I think Bezier's scrum has been a massive factor in this as well. Penalties to give them field position, penalties to give them opportunities. A lot of these have come from the scrum.
Bezier started the game in 13th. 1 win in 8, only 18 points achieved all season long. and not far off of the relegation spots. The band are doing what they can.
Very nervous bench, still looking really excited.
Even they can't work out the dark arts of the scrum on the touchline.
I think it's actually not a nappy on 23. What's his name again?
Arroyo.
It's one of those back straps that keeps your...
He's got a girdle on.
I'm not sure it actually helps. A girdle. That's certainly gone. That's certainly not working anymore. Ooh.
I actually thought that was the Van player stepping back, and Arroyo just stepped. Well, more drama at the end of this game. We're into the final minute. We're into the final chance for Van. He was held up. Oh, what a turnover. Van Bos, the Belgian, he's been busy since he's come back on. He was there with Pouter, the two men with scrum caps. Might have just finished Van off. Lots of injuries, they're missing class, but are we about to see a little chink in the armour of what looked a pretty indestructible Van as Bezier take the contact, don't try and run forward, they try and stay close to their support. And Joe Worsley has said so many times, you hate that tactic, Joe.
Yeah, I don't, you can waste time. But a couple of things here. They had 3 or 4 rucks there where they're trying to wind the clock down. They should have gone towards the touchline each time. At least made it a difficult kick. Now they're giving him a kick right in the middle of the pitch. They'll bang it down to the 5. How close is he going to get? Well, maybe 10. Give him an opportunity though, but Dodson goes off puts his hands down here and kind of semi-collapses. Seals it off. It does look really bad with optics on it. Again, they maybe rushed that last one. Need more men in position.
Oh, this is
That's
theatre.
Gonna be. Where's Marquez? They got Marquez's face after that one. My God, he must have been very disappointed.
Oh, and it's another error. Bezier just have to get the ball off the pitch and they've got themselves a win. A massively sought after. Precious.
Wow, look what it means to them.
Ecstatic victory. Camacho and Aubrey, the two Portuguese halfbacks, celebrating, but I think we're going to see Samuel Marquez before long. There he is.
Yeah, wow, look at their faces. Look how much it means to them, this victory. What a huge, huge win. Listen, Van are going to be pretty disappointing when they review this one. Their set pieces all year long has been one of their big strengths. Been pretty brutal tonight. I know they had loads of injuries. Cherries had to play so many games. You can see why now. The replacements and the medical replacements they've got in have been throwing pieces like they have done tonight. And then the scrum was really rolled over by Bezier tonight. Those two areas, if they're not right, in a game of this type, it's going to be a long night.
Christian Juge there, he had a big performance. The two locks, Dodson and Eru, put it about. We hardly saw Anon, Corto. I don't think I've hardly mentioned Vassallo's name on the other wing for Bezier. That was...
No, they didn't get much game going at all, did they? Marquez busy buzzing around, but honestly, in terms of joined up phases, again, their rugby program's not looking great. Commitment-wise, brilliant. And tonight was just about commitment and just battling it out against a Van team who did give them some opportunities and who didn't create as many opportunities for themselves as they can do normally, with great kicking and try scoring like we saw them do once in the game.
Nice moment there with the Tongan, Pouter, and the Fijian, Masawini, having a little moment after that game for Bezier. Your boy there, Joe, he was pretty happy.
Is that a happy face? I'm not sure.
I think it was happy. That's the guy. We talked about the matchup before the game, Ruru against Marquez. Ruru's been probably the form player in Pro Liga this season. Marquez has been around the block.
Thank you, Jesus!
Palter, giving thanks. He's 37, Joe, that fella.
I mean, Ben playing with us now,
c'était Laure Gontina qui vient à notre micro.
42.
Félicitations. Elle doit faire du bien, cette victoire. Au-delà du classement, elle doit faire du bien dans la tête.
C'est sûr, ça fait un moment qu'on ne se paye pas, qu'on fait des bons matchs, mais qu'on ne se paye pas, comme on dit, c'est des défaites encourageantes. Aujourd'hui, on avait à cœur de montrer à tout le monde, à cette ville, à ce club, aux repreneurs aussi, qu'on est une vraie famille, qu'on peut gagner des matchs, qu'il faut compter sur nous aussi.
This club a real family and show we can win the
Vous avez
game.
répondu finalement à l'essentiel de terrain.
Bien sûr, je crois qu'en deux blocs on prend à peine 10 points, donc plus avant les fêtes, ça fait du bien de gagner contre l'ogre de la Pro D2 qui est Evan. Ça fait du bien à passer des fêtes tranquilles avec ça dans la tête pour janvier.
On va vous laisser célébrer cette victoire avec les supporters.
Merci beaucoup, c'est gentil.
All happy there. I wonder if they'll check a microphone in the huddle.
Yeah, Van are looking a bit. There's some cameraman right next to that van. I hope this gets a mic.
Here we go. Seeing some grass. Just give him a second more. Here comes Van now. Well, just one reminder, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's a 2-week break from the live games, but there's all sorts of content. If you want Courtney Laws, if you want Jack Willis, Dan Robson, then you'll find all that content in the channel. And our next game, 2 weeks' time, January the 8th, first game of 2026, Provence Grenoble. Is Sam Davis. He'll be back, and he'll be up against his Welsh teammate, George North. Thank you very much for watching. Nice one, Joe Worsley.
Thank you very much.
And oh, no, we're still there. We're where we were at the start of the second half with a black screen. That's fine. That's how I want to finish. Awesome stuff. Love that. Thank you for watching.